Welcome back. We are here looking at the Leica X1, and in this video we will take a little tour of the menu system of the X1. So let's take another look around the outside of it. Here we have the aperture dial, the shutter speed dial, and then we have the off and on switch, which also has markings for single shot, continuous shot, and self timer. The hot shoe, which doubles as the holder for the external viewing piece, which is a 36mm equivalent viewing piece, and then of course we have the manually activated pop-up flash. I haven't used the flash at all yet, but it's nice to know that it's there just in case I need it, and it's pretty unique. I haven't seen anything like this in use in any other cameras. There we go. Since we're up front here, let's take a look at the lens assembly here. It does extend when it's turned on. It does extend pretty quickly. Kind of just about doubles the length here of the lens when it's on. It's a little slower retracting. There we go. It's retracted here, and you'll notice this piece does unscrew, and you can probably hear that it's a metal piece. I wouldn't expect much less from Leica, especially at this price point here. So this piece does come off, which would lead you to believe that they may have something else in mind. And when I brought this up with the dealer, they said that Leica might come out with something next year. And in the interviews, or excuse me, in the reviews that I've read online, somebody else mentioned that the Deluxe 4 has a removable ring similar to Panasonic's LX3, but Leica has yet to develop any kind of attachments, and it really seems a little bit out of character for Leica to have some kind of a screw-on wide angle or telephoto or macro add-on. It just doesn't seem quite their speed. There you go, it is metal. So I'll go ahead and attach this. Finely threaded. Okay, so we'll get into the menu system here. I'll turn it on, and we are looking at the back of this camera. It's a 2.7-inch LCD. It's not the highest resolution out there at all. In fact, it's probably bare bones 230,000 dots, which was pretty much the entry level several years ago for some of the digital SLRs. If Leica saved money putting in a 230,000 dot rear LCD and put more money into this beautiful lens, I'm quite happy with that. It's a good trade-off for me. Needless to say, the lens, the rear panel does function quite well. I don't have any problems with it. I can achieve focus, even though most of the time I am using autofocus here. So this is the rear view with the screen broken up into the rule of thirds, kind of an overlay. Back here you can press the info button and cycle through the different screen overlays. My personal favorite is kind of a minimalist display. It will show the aperture and shutter speed on the bottom. Moving up from the information button here, we have the ISO button. I love having a dedicated ISO button. It makes it much quicker than digging through the menu system, although the most recent Canon G series do have a dedicated knob on top, which is pretty useful too. Anyway, Leica has dedicated a button here We have auto ISO up to 3200 ISO in full stop increments. So if you manually choose your ISO settings, it's in full stop increments. However, if you shoot auto ISO, I've noticed that it breaks it down to maybe 1/3 stop increments. So it's possible to shoot somewhere in between 400 and 800 and 800 and 400, etc. That's only in the auto ISO setting. Just above that we have the white balance button. It does exactly what it says. I've been leaving it on auto white balance for two reasons. The white balance is fantastic. If you're shooting JPEG and you need to nail the white balance, this will get it almost all of the time. The other reason I leave it on auto white balance is I'm shooting in their DNG file. So that wouldn't make much of a difference anyway with this button. The next button up from that is the delete/focus button. And you can see there's a face detection, a spot, 11 point high speed, 11 point, 1 point high speed, and 1 point. And I just leave this to 1 point high speed. Okay, and then finally we go up to the play button. Notice the amount of lag time there. It was quite a long wait between the pressing of the play button and the time that it actually came through. I'll do that again. So I'll be in shooting mode. So we're in shooting mode, and I'll press the play button now. There we go. That's how long it takes. A couple seconds there to get to the play button. But once you start seeing the images, they cycle through pretty fast. You have a couple different views here. You have the single with some information such as aperture, shutter speed, ISO, and number within this particular disc. So this, for example, is image 6 out of 108. If you twist this knob or turn this knob on the outside, you can fall back one more level, and that's as far back as it comes.